What's up, guys? This is By the Fell-Handed. I'm going to be doing war stories here the next few days. We're going to be able to check it out. It's going to be very, very exciting. New stuff all around. We're going to start with Brothers in Armor, excuse me. I've already done the one mission. I'm going to go ahead and start on the second mission. Right now, we have to defeat the Germans in Romania. The Soviets have accelerated their offensive against the German forces, aiming to knock the Germans in Romania out of the war. The Soviets plan an offensive across their border. M4 Sherman tanks provided via Lend-Lease to the 6th Tank Army 5th Mechanized Corps are a core part of the offensive. Realizing an attack is imminent, German forces launch an armored assault to preempt the Soviets. An expert U.S. liaison is about to be swept up in the conflict alongside the veteran Soviet tankers he was sent to advise. So here we go. We did live fire yesterday. We're going to do forging ahead today. I'm going to try my best not to talk over the in-game narrative. Very, very exciting right now. It's going to be awesome. Brothers in Arms, Bratsia Perusia. Okay, there we go. There's the column.
The German preemptive strike had been fierce. The Soviet losses, heavy. Regardless, the orders still stood. The Russian offensive would continue as planned.
Colonel Peters, that's my name.
Suddenly found himself caught up with the push towards the enemy front line. The Russian Shermans had managed to stem the German onslaught, but they lacked necessary reinforcements to press home their advantage. One thing was clear to Peters. They needed more tanks.
More tanks. They ran out of gas.
It was now a race against time for the Russians. They could make for the disabled tank and turn it against their enemy, or engage the German patrol directly with the remaining Shermans. Peters prayed they would make the right call. Peters rallied his crew. It was their turn to strike back at the Germans.
Alright, I'm ready. I think we've all seen this map before. Redone. Looks very good. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. We're going to drive through your fence there. There's a lot going on here. Okay, we have a bad guy right here. Going to try to sneak one in there. Tried to go for the tracks. Didn't really happen for me, but, you know, that's all good. Kablooma. I bounced around in the Sherman there. That was pretty awesome. Shoot your gas tanks while I'm at it. Wait, was I supposed to cap that? I'm sorry, I'm too busy talking. Capture enemy base, yes. Look at that, that is sweet. We have a Panzer 4H on our team. You cannot beat that.
Peters had a plan. He'd capture some abandoned tanks and turn them against the enemy.
Oh, there's another base I have to capture. I see it. Yes, and, you know, the Germans, speaking of capturing enemy tanks, you know, when they were pushing through Poland and Czechoslovakia, they captured a number of tanks and put them to use, which is kind of exactly what we're doing.
They found us.
Got a good shot here. We're going to just get nice and hold down and just fire it right into him. Snuck one in there. See if we can't just kind of put one right there in his side. We got him off the board. I'm going to run over this tree while I'm at it, because you know what? Trees are the real enemies. Let's fire through the bunker there. Got him. Let's see if we can't finesse one into him. Blammo! All the while the bots looked on. Yeah, great shot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so... Oh, it's a box. Oh, wait, it's a toolbox. I don't need it, but I'm going to take it. That's mine, yeah. My health is restored. I feel so much better. Alright. I guess the friendly tanks don't move. Maybe that was the whole thing about them being disabled. Maybe I don't know. It's whatever, man. I'm not hard to get along with. Okay, so we've captured 2 out of 3 bases. We need to go capture the other base. Oh, he's following me now. Kind of. In a roundabout way. I have a little assault team with me. That's pretty awesome. Boy, they've really done a number on this map. It looks beautiful now. It's very pretty. It was pretty before, but I guess now that they changed it, it's just wowza. I like it. It looks pretty awesome. So I guess I have to capture this tiny base before I capture the big base, maybe? I don't know. Like I said, guys, this is the first time I'm going through this live commentary, the whole 9. So you're getting this when I'm getting this. I mean, you guys have probably already played it, but you know what? Maybe there's somebody out there who says, you know what? I want to wait on that bullseye guy to play his. Oh, got a little tiny fella creeping up on me. Must get... Oh, Sherman sideways. I derped it. Oh, what if that one missed? Wow. Thank goodness I have something of an armor there, because I sure wasn't killing that guy in a timely fashion. That accuracy. There we go. We're just going to aim it in and then put it right up into him. Where's he at? Come here, you. I can't shoot straight. But it's fine. I'll get him eventually. I have lots of rounds. Clutch shot. Ah, what do you think about that? I don't know why they can't pin me, but I'm not complaining. It's not. I'm totally not. I'm going to put this right in the stinker. Blammo. Alright. I'm just glad that, you know, their guns cannot pin me, because if they could, I would have been dead 100 times over. Oh, Sherman is not mobile. It's just... Turn, you Sherman! Okay. I'm going to drive through this little outpost deal here. See if we can't get some... Oh, I got some good shots, kinda. Oh, I'm taking some fire. Don't know. Yep, I've got a shot here. I think it went into a building or something. There we go. Shut that gentleman down. I think I've got just a crack of daylight I could see. Yeah, I don't have much. There we go. That got him moving. Oh, my buddy over there is still alive. Put one in his side. Still taking rounds though. They're still putting fire on me, which is good. They're keeping it up. Did that guy die? Alright, I'm going to slide off this hill real easy like. Yeah. We're going to kick it on over here to this cap and see if we can't get some things going. 8 kills. Said no Sherman ever. But you know what? It's exciting. I like this game. It's fun. This game mode is pretty exciting. I like it. You get out here. You have some real shooting, some real combat. You know, it feels really, really good. They put some time into this. They really did a good number on this. I'm happy and proud. Okay, so heavy tanks, the most armored tanks in the battle. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. Okay. So I wonder why it just told me that randomly. I'm not capturing that base. I don't know what base it's talking about. Is there artillery? Okay. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but you know what? There's no difference this than any other day. Why I don't know things are going on. Okay, we're taking rounds. Let's back off. We're going to limit the number of people firing at us. At least that's the theory. Put one in that gentleman right there. Oh, hey, look at that. Alright, we're going to pull up here, see if we can't put some rounds on these light gentlemen. I'm using auto lock there to get the gun on the target, and I'm fine tuning it with my precision aim, or lack thereof. I know I've got a guy here to my right. Clutch. I was going to clutch it, but he died, which is always a good thing. Yeah. Oh wow. Every time I get a reticle on somebody, they die. That's a good problem to have, though. I'm going to blow up that tank. because I like blowing stuff up. It's not mine. Ah! I led him wrong. He finessed me. He finessed me again. I'm getting outdone by a bot. I feel bad for myself. Okay, there we go. Great shot. Thanks a lot. Okay, so we're capping the base. This is my base now. This is the base of the Fell-Handed now. Are they going to send somebody to me, or...?
The battlefield was littered with the smoking remains of German armor. Peters was thankful they had survived, just. But this day was far from over.
And if you want to get technical, aside from a little track damage, I was okay. It wasn't, you know, wasn't awful. Wasn't too bad. WSM4 Sherman MCHA. That's a pretty cool name. What is that? What does that mean? Okay, I got you. Right on. Guys, it's over. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Send those questions in to the locations. You know, the same. The Facebook, Xbox Live. Comment below. Also, if you have any video you'd like me to comment on, send it to Boulevard the Fell-Handed at Facebook. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Not every American tank built was destined for the U.S. Army. Some were transported through the Persian corridor into Russia. From the steelworks of Detroit straight to the Eastern Front. And it wasn't just tanks that wound up in Russia. The Americans sent experienced combatants too. Colonel Peters had joined the Russian advance into Romania. With the news spreading that a second front had opened up in France, both sides knew this was a critical turning point in the war. From his position on the hill, Peters and his Russian crew were about to get their first taste of action as a joint force.
What's up, guys? This is Boulevard the Fell-Handed. I'm going to start doing a War Stories series here, checking this out. I will see it the first time you see it. Now, also don't forget that I am still doing a Q&A. Send your questions to Boulevard the Fell-Handed on Facebook or my Xbox Live account, or even comment them below. Let's get to the story.
The Germans had launched a preemptive strike on the Russian armor.
Okay, so moving on. I'm trying to dodge the in-game narrative. Not really sure if I'm going to dodge it 100%. I may run over it a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, one of my fans I was talking with the other day, he believes that War Stories will, you know, bring in a lot of players who are not necessarily savvy to the, you know, wargaming, PvP type of situation. You know, just kind of open the door to a lot of new gamers. Maybe not, you know, necessarily people who are part of the MMORPG type style game, which not necessarily an RPG, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say, because it kind of adds another layer to the PvE, which, you know, you had to Proving Grounds, but this is a different story. This is kind of like a campaign, and he believes it's just going to bring in a whole, you know, amount of fresh blood. And I've got to be honest, I agree with him. I think as a company, Wargaming made a very good move here, because this kind of puts it in line with, those of us that are history buffs, which is considerable, where there's a lot of history buffs out there who want to play these things exactly like they're intended. And, first time you get in your M4 Sherman and go out in a PvP match, you might get annihilated. Or your Tiger tank, and history buffs, that's not necessarily true. When I first started this game, for example, all I wanted was the Tiger 1. I'm a big Tiger fanatic. Know a lot about the Tiger. And I got the Tiger, and man, if you don't know how to play it, you get annihilated. And that's just the long and short of it. Its armor in the game doesn't necessarily block very much at all. It's very, very flat. There's no angle. There's a lot better designs. But at the same time, in World War II, during that time, it was the height of technology. Just like the French S-35 Suma. When that came out at the time, that was the height of technology. That was the best tank in the world. So things change, obviously. But the Germans typically had the upper hand because they always had some awesome tanks. Because as a race, they are very, very good engineers. That being said, I went into this game assuming that. Now, granted, if there was another game involved, perhaps War Thunder, possibly a little bit closer, you never actually hear of a tank taking, multiple rounds, unless, of course, it's just straight bouncing them. So, anyway, it's neither here nor there. But when I came into this game, I guess I'm trying to give you a point. When I came into this game, I was assuming it was going to be a simulator. It is not. It's a game. That's simply all it is. It's a game, and it just happens to have some things in it that we can relate to. Like, the M4 Sherman and the Tiger 1 and the tanks and so forth and so on. So, don't make it more than it is. That being said, that kind of brings it back with the war stories. You kind of can have that now. You can say, okay, I'm in a Tiger, I'm going to be okay, or I'm in a Sherman, I'm going to be fast, and it puts you against the bots. And I think for the history buffs, who don't necessarily want to, play a 10,000 personal ranked player out on the battlefield, you can just play some bots, and sure, they might be easy kills, but there's a bunch of them. And I wholeheartedly agree. I think this is going to open up a whole nother section here. I think people are going to have loads of fun playing these things, these war stories, and I am looking forward to them. And I think it's going to be super, super fun. So, let's all watch the rest of this, and for the rest of them, I'm going to try my best to do live commentary.
Looks like that one went right through. Friendly vehicle destroyed. Got him. That one drilled straight through. Enemy armor.
Peters knew if he didn't keep his Sherman moving, he'd end up a burning wreck.
They destroyed one of our tanks. They found us. Dropping target. Look out, enemy spotted. Penetration. We finished him off. Target locked. I see one of them. We pierced their armor. He's gone. Find us another target. I see one. Releasing target. Penetration. Reloaded. Unlocking target. Got an enemy here. Been detected.
With the German tanks routed, Peters looked at his Sherman crew with pride. They had passed their first test admirably.
Great job, men!